got some pretty insane reports on what could be coming right after GPT Astra, a mysterious model from OpenAI, and it's a new series called Doug. Now, quick note, Doug was previously used as an internal pre-training name for Astra. However, reports suggest that another model was being trained alongside Astra, one that is significantly larger and has undergone far more extensive pre-training, and could be even more capable. Not much is known yet, but there are some pretty credible sources that we'll be diving into, and this is a model that will be launching later this year. Meanwhile, the Alibaba team has clearly been working nonstop because another mysterious Qwen checkpoint, codenamed Kiana, has appeared in the arena, and I've got to say this model looks incredible. In several Three.js prompts, it seemingly outperformed Opus 5 in max thinking mode as well as Fable 5, and we still don't know whether this is a part of the upcoming Qwen 4 series or something else entirely. But today we'll be breaking down on some of these cool generations. We've also got a new mysterious GPT image model appearing in Arena called Mona Lisa, and it looks substantially better than the current Image 2 model. Speaking of image generation, Grok Image 2.0 has officially dropped, and it currently ranks number 2 overall for text-to-image generation. Unfortunately, Google's massive Gemma 4 120 billion parameter model has reportedly been cancelled. And plus, there's a lot more to cover, so let's just simply dive into it now. Chris, who has been a pretty well-respected source that I actually have been following for a while, and when it comes to upcoming OpenAI models, he usually reports on them in terms of internal sources, and recently he reported something pretty massive. According to him, GPT 5.5 won't be OpenAI's final major pre-running run. He says that GPT-6, whether that is Astra, not too sure what that is going to be yet, should already be a great model, but the mysterious end of the year model that he has alluded back in June could actually be OpenAI's biggest pre-training run yet. And apparently that model was codenamed Doug. He also mentioned that this new model will make Fable look primitive, which is kind of insane for this comparison. But this is where things start to get pretty confusing because the timeline doesn't completely add up. Another source that is quite credible had pushed back on the idea that Doug is definitely some brand new model coming after Astra. But according to them, Semi-Analysis had already mentioned the Doug codename earlier in July before the most recent reporting around Astra. So Doug could potentially be an early internal codename for Astra itself rather than its successor. But that's not 100% confirmed yet. But overall, everything is quite confusing right now in terms of the sequence of names because we have a lot of code names and checkpoints floating around like Doug now, Mewthree MewFour, and eventually Astra. We still don't know whether this represents separate models, different checkpoints of the same training run, or simply internal codenames that change throughout development. At the same time though, the July timing doesn't actually add up based off of the source, because if Doug was mentioned on July 9th, Astra would certainly have already been deep into development by that point. So it's still possible that multiple training runs existed simultaneously while working on Astra. So we could see two separate models. The biggest takeaway right now is that Doug appears to be some real OpenAI codename, but exactly which model it is still quite unclear. If Doug really is a separate, much larger pre-training run targeting later this year, that would be some groundbreaking news, and that would indicate that OpenAI is also focusing on another model simultaneously while working on the Astra release. So this is some pretty wild news that we had uncovered over the past weekend. One of the most annoying parts of building AI agents is getting clean data from websites. Normally, you need a web scraper, a crawler, markdown converter, structured extraction, and branding APIs. Context Dev combines all of that into a single API. I'm using Context Dev, the web intelligence API that's built for AI developers. It lets you crawl entire websites, extract structured data, generate AI-ready markdown, pull brand assets like logos and colors, and even build a complete knowledge base from a single site using one provider instead of stitching together 5 different APIs. Let's say I want to build a website and I need to understand a company's documentation like the World of AI benchmark tool. I can simply go ahead and paste in the website link and I can extract everything in Markdown. Instead of writing my own crawler, I just point Context Dev at the website and then run it. And in one request, I'm able to get clean Markdown files and the docs that my large language model can actually understand based off of whatever I had basically worked upon. So if you're building AI agents or AI powered apps that need web data, check out Context Dev with links in the description below. And thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. Next up, we've got a mysterious new Qwen model that started appearing within Code Arena inside Arena, which is called Kiana. And as usual, the first thing people are throwing at it is some pretty cool tests and some comparisons. And you can see that this is quite competent in terms of its 3D output, especially in Three.js, where it's quite comparable to models like Claude Opus 5 and GPT 5.6 Soul running the exact same prompt. And you can see that in this case, this is where the model did quite incredibly well in this specific test to generate a simulation of a ballista. And from earlier generations, from myself even, which I'll showcase in a bit, this is where the model is quite reputable in all fronts in terms of front end and web development. Now, to access this model, you'll need to create an account with Arena, and you just need to simply head over to this drop-down menu and click on Battle Mode and then select Code Arena. And this is where you can send in any prompt and you have a chance of getting either of the models. So let me just showcase how it would work. Create a website. And essentially, once you send in your prompt, you have two different options that you can select from. And afterwards, you have the ability to vote on which model did a better job in generating that specific prompt. Once you have voted, it will tell you which model had generated which, but there is a chance that you obviously won't get the Kiana model, this new checkpoint. So just keep that in mind. You need to keep constantly generating within Arena to get that model checkpoint. And speaking of models, if you haven't already, I would highly recommend taking a look at the World of AI benchmark and vibe coding platform because this is an incredible tool that will help you understand which model to use as well as how you can even get started with different AI agents and models because there's different tools and different assistants that will help you in so many different ways. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that with the link in the description below. But here, this is where I had told it to create a 360-degree rotational product viewer page. And this is where it did exceptional in almost every front of this generation. You can see that it created the labels, the rotating specialized viewer, as well as the actual 3D product in Three.js, which is something that most models actually end up failing at. You can even change the color, which is a nice add-on. And the overall UI looks pretty sleek and clean. So this is actually a really cool generation. Now, there's obviously no confirmation of what this model is just yet, but it could potentially be the new Qwen model, maybe the 4.0 series, which is something that is projected to release in September. Maybe we might even get a Qwen 3.9 update this month. Not too sure what actually ends up happening. Here, I had requested it to create a macOS OS, and this is where it did actually quite well on almost all of the fronts. Spotlight seems to be functional in terms of like the top bar. And remember, this is being done in LM Arena, so just think about it. It's not something that has the best reasoning effort set. So the fact that it's able to do this with this reasoning level is pretty incredible. You have the Launchpad, which even has that small little animation. You have a Finders app which seems to be functional on most fronts. Never mind. I guess you can open up some folders, which is nice. It has coded out the Safari app. You have a couple of different web pages, which has been coded out. You have the Mail app, the Terminal, the Music app, which I don't think actually works, which is unfortunate. But then again, we're on low reasoning. And then you have the Notes app, the Calendar. You have Photos, which you can actually open up, which is actually pretty cool. You even have Calculator, and then you have the system settings where you can change the background. So but the fact that we've got this sort of generation from the playground is nice to see. And it even generated an FPS shooter type of game in Three.js. So this is really cool to see something being generated in low reasoning in Arena. Here on X, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, someone had essentially tested out the Claude Opus 5 Max versus this new Kiana checkpoint from Qwen versus the Claude Fable 5 in high reasoning, all given the same prompt to create a steampunk airship using Three.js. And you can see the quality is definitely incredible for this new Kiana checkpoint in terms of creating the actual labels as well as the panel that describes what this ship is. And you can see that it actually has an arguably better design and structure than what we've seen from Fable 5 High and the Opus. Obviously, it adds in a bit more texture than those two models, but I would actually put the Opus model higher than anything else that we were seeing on the screen. But still, regardless, Kiana is putting up a pretty impressive fight, despite being something that's in Arena doing this. So it's really nice to see that this model is outputting this. And I would really love to see this new Qwen model being released later this year. And you will clearly see that this is not the 27 billion parameter model just by this head-to-head test where it was put up against the Qwen 3.0 Max X High. On that reasoning, it was able to outcompete it. And this is where it was told to create a photorealistic 3D luxury countryside house in Three.js. And despite the Qwen 3.0 Max outputting some great qualitative output for a 3D visualization, we can still see that the Kiana model did a substantially better job in this output. So it really looks like this may be the Qwen 4.0 series. Next up, we have gotten maybe the first look at OpenAI's next image generation model. There's a new mysterious model called Mona Lisa 1, which started appearing inside Arena, and it is really interesting because the output you're getting from this model is just incredible. And this may be the Image 2.5 update or maybe even Image 3.0 update. This is just an early checkpoint. Maybe we might see this model released this week or later this year. Whatever it may be, this is an incredible new image model from OpenAI. These images generated by the model that by this checkpoint are reportedly being detected by OpenAI's own verification tooling as containing OpenAI's synth ID watermark. And overall, this is a really strong clue that this model is directly from OpenAI. And judging from the generations we're seeing so far, this could potentially be a major upgrade over the current image models that OpenAI has, and especially in just terms of visual quality and prompt following. So this is something that is definitely really exciting. And just take a look at this comparison of the ChatGPT Image 2.0 media mode versus this Mona Lisa 1 model, as well as the Image 2.0 high mode. And the quality that you can see from the Mona Lisa 1 is just incredible in comparison to these other models. If you want the best AI tools, workflows, and drops before everyone else, join my free newsletter with the link in the description below, which is completely free. Next up is some sad news from Gemini as usual. But remember that massive Gemma for 120 billion parameter model that we were talking about a couple of months back? Well, apparently it has been canceled. An internal listing shows that the Gemma for version 120B with the actual model ID referencing roughly 123 billion parameters alongside a 262 context window has been canceled. So sadly, this is where Google has ultimately decided not to actually release this, meaning that we will never get to see this massive Gemma model actually being deployed or what it's actually capable of. Now, this could maybe highlight that they're refocusing, retooling on whatever is going to be releasing in the next couple of months. Not too sure. The whole Google DeepMind company as a whole has been quite confusing over the last couple of months, and there's definitely a lot of things that they need to rework. Also, I forgot to mention this in my video yesterday, but the XAI team, the SpaceX AI team, as I should say now, has actually released the Grok Image 2.0 model, and it's something that currently ranks number 2 on LM Arena's text to image arena model leaderboard. And this is where the model has done exceptionally well on all fronts in terms of generating images. And this is where it's able to do quite well on most of these different prompts. And you can see that with the visual depth from this model. If you like this video and would love to support the channel, you can consider donating to my channel through the super thanks option below. Or you can consider joining our private Discord where you can access multiple subscriptions to different AI tools for free on a monthly basis, plus daily AI news and exclusive content, plus a lot more. Now, I'm not sponsored by News Research for reporting this, but they did mention on X today that the 90% discount that they had on the new DeepSeek version 4 Flash model, the generally available Flash model, is now being extended for another 3 days. And this discount is where they're providing that model off of their 90% discount on it, which is something that I would highly recommend taking advantage of. This is something that is going to get you some incredible usage for this capable model, basically for free at this rate. I know this sounds like I'm sponsored by them, but I will tell you that I'm not. It's just my 2 cents and my recommendations to you guys as my viewers. Now, as I always end off these videos with a cool robot video, this is where the University of Tokyo built a flying robot that's called Dragon, and unlike a normal drone, this thing actually changes its entire shape while flying and uses AI in the actual course. This is something that has a rigid body. You can see that it is actually kind of interesting how they actually accomplished this. This is where it's able to bend itself into different configurations and even use its own body to grasp and manipulate objects mid-air, which is kind of sci-fi like. This is just crazy that AI is being used in today's robotics world for different sorts of mechanisms and tools, even technologies like this. So imagine what we'll be seeing in the next 25 years. But with that thought, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and got some sort of value. I highly recommend that you take a look at the World of AI benchmark and vibe coding platform. Make sure you also go ahead and take a look at the second channel. Join the newsletter, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos so that you can stay up to date with the latest AI news and topics that are happening on a daily basis. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day. Spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.